Okay, so part 2 time. Let's go. Let's keep going. Let's go with Kato, the temple's ambush. So, okay, like this is kind of a cool idea because it has like a few interesting takes, but overall, I just feel like it's Rengar with extra steps, if you ask me. But let's go point by point first. So, Tiger Lady, essentially. Let's see if we can load this, because I'm currently not... I don't have a lot of really good internet connection here. But basically Tiger Lady with a cloak on top of her. And the idea is that she's kind of like this mythical... mythical warrior in this like forbidden temple. And she kind of like goes around recruiting people by sending in this like jade golems. And the jade golems like attack a place, and then there's gonna be like some soldier or someone who's gonna go, okay, so let's go catch these guys because they killed my village and whatnot. So what happens is they go into the temple, Kato kills them and turns them into more jade golems, and we don't know why he does this, but yeah, that's basically her whole motivation, is to make a big jade army to, I don't know, conquer Ionia or something. Who knows? Nobody knows. That's kind of neat, and I wanted this to load because the art was really nice. You can check it out for yourself. It has like some cool moments because it has this thing where it really feels like the whole thing is very homogeneous. Like the whole design is very homogeneous. It doesn't feel like, oh, it's clearly part tiger, part human. No, it kind of blends in really well. You know how Achirem feels like a single cohesive unit? Well, same thing here. And that's nice. So as for the passive, as for the kit, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of like a mixture between Camille and Rengar with like, and it's hard to say anything about this because personally I don't like it all that much. It's a bit too simple. It has some cool things, like basically the whole idea is that you go around, you kill people, and that makes it so that you deal true damage with your basic attacks, but you lose stacks when you die. And then like your other abilities scale up. There's like shift shards that you get when you kill someone, and that's essentially it. And then you have this whole idea of perching, where you kind of like latch onto a wall, kind of like Camille, and then you get more range on this, and you can like jump around and do like other stuff. That's basically it. So as I said, it's Camille with extra steps. And then you have the ultimate, which it feels kind of weird because you read this thing and then you read, okay, so she summons like this jade pillars, right? And you're like, oh, okay, nice. She can use these jade pillars as terrain, and maybe she gets like a buff or something. No, she just needs to right click the pillars, and then she just like jumps all over the place and deals damage. It's kind of like if you mix Akali's ultimate with Katarina's ultimate, right? It's like you get this AoE where you just like jump around and deal a lot of damage. And yeah, that's neat, but I don't know. I like it from a very superficial conceptual standpoint, which I guess is kind of the point of the whole subreddit. Just cool conceptual ideas. Just as a thing on its own, I don't particularly like it. This is the problem I have a lot with assassins, is that it's kind of, most assassins just kind of go through the motions. It's like, what do you need for an assassin? You need tons of damage, maybe some form of scaling, but sometimes they don't do that. Like that's as much as you can change from assassin. Is, oh, okay, do you want a early game assassin or a late game assassin? That's pretty much all you can do with it. Because all assassins is like, okay, so they need to have at least 2 mobility options so they can go in and get out after they kill someone. If you have tons of damage, and maybe some form of like what was this? Like cohesion ultimate, like a get out jail free card on the ultimate, or something like that. You know? Like an ultimate that says, okay, you don't actually need this in your combo, but you can use it to like really, like, I don't know. Yeah, like you get the idea. Like usually the assassin ultimates is like, okay, you may or may not use this if you feel like it. Basically, it's like, okay, your combo usually is enough to kill someone, but if you use your ultimate, it's like 99% sure you're gonna kill them instead of 70% sure without the ultimate. And yeah, that's pretty much what's going on here. And I don't know, it's kind of whatever. I don't have particular sympathy for this concept, even if it is pretty fun from like a lore standpoint and whatnot. Okay, so now we have Rue, I don't know, Rue, the Caretaker. So this one's a fawn. I don't know if you know what a fawn is. Whatever, yeah, like half human, half goat. Goat, lower half. So this one is, I don't know, it's fine. It's one of those champions, you know, like, you know, as you know, as skirmisher, kind of like what's the name of this, Echo and Diana, where they're kind of like an assassin, but at the same time they're not really an assassin, you know. But yeah, I don't know, it's fun, it's okay. It kind of, again, same thing with like the whole thing about assassins. It kind of goes through the motions. There isn't much here to work with, if you ask me. It does have some cool mechanics though. Like, for example, well, it has. I'm gonna talk about the lore later because it has like some fun things to say. There isn't much, but it's nice that it's there. So this one is supposed to be all about kind of sustained fights, right? Basically, you like jump around, you can block projectiles, you can do like a bunch of stuff. It's fun, you know, really mobility heavy, mobility focused champion. So yeah, it also has this wing thing going on, and yeah, there isn't much else to say. It's fun, it's cool. I wish this wasn't the game, even if it wouldn't add that much. It's like, okay, it could be meta, right? Like if all other skirmishers either aren't that good, or you know, one of those champions that come out, just power creep every other skirmisher, and then they get nerfed, and then it's like, okay, so yeah, you can like press around every once in a while in the meta, in and out of the meta, in and out of the meta. I can't speak apparently. So anyway, it's fine. Like, has this thing, like every once in a while she gets 1 second off all of her CD, all of her abilities are on CD, which, sure, I don't care. It's numbers. I don't. It's a fine passive. I have nothing else to say about it. And then like when she lands, it's kind of like what's the name of this? You know, Abaddon from Dota. You know how he lands a bunch of attacks and then he silences you and then he gets a bunch of attack speed. Well, kind of same thing. She like hits two auto attacks and then she gets ranged attacks and deals bonus magic damage. Sure. I mean, yeah, it works, especially because she gets like a bunch of dashes and shit. So yeah, it's nice that she gets ranged attacks. Kind of like Hiv'Vaan when he's on a bush. Could it be broken? Yeah, sure. It's fine. I do like the Serenity passive, and I guess Serendipity works well. But again, it kind of goes through the motions. It works. It's well cohesive, and that's the thing I like about this concept. It works. It works perfectly, and it's not like super simple, but it's also like it doesn't add anything really. But overall, it's fine. He has like a AOE like a cone slow. It also reduces magic resistance. She gets like this spell shield-ish. Like you think like Brom's shield, you know, but only blocks one projectile, and then she can like then recast this. Okay, so think Brom's shield only blocks once. If she blocks something or at the end of the duration, she gets a shield and can like use it as a knockback, as an AoE knockback around her and in your line. So yeah, sure. Again, combines well with her. I believe this gives no. Okay, no, this doesn't give movement speed. Oh no, yeah, it does. Gives movement speed. Yeah, it's like nice repositioning. Positioning matters thing. You can mess around with it, I guess. And then there's the E, which is probably the best ability in this whole kit. It's you target a unit. It's kind of like Jack's Q, but it doesn't deal damage. Instead, you target a unit. You can jump, but then you can jump again in the air to jump to whatever you feel like. And the second jump has like a lot more range. Also, at the end, you get an attack speed buff, which I guess that's fine. If you have the Serendipity passive active, this is pretty cool. If you don't have it, it might have a bit of a feels Batman moment because it's like I need to like jump on top of someone. I mean, you have the shield, but I don't know. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It's fine. Again, it's supposed to be kind of like Echo on Diana, where she kind of like she can sort of burst, but also sort of fight you. It's good for trades, I guess. Does it say? Well, no, it doesn't have like a duration. You just have like the second jump needs to be in the air, basically. You can just jump in, do whatever, and then jump out. And then you have the R, which it's one of those ultimates where it's like, okay, so you press this ability and it doesn't actually do anything. She just gets buffs on her abilities, or like some other form of like Super Saiyan form mode. And personally, I don't like this kind of abilities that much. I feel like I'm kind of boring. I'm more into the either if you're gonna do something like this, expect something like Queen's ultimate, like something that really defines the champion, instead of just like Nasus and Renekton ultimates, where you just press this and you get like a bunch of health and a bunch of buff. You just become a bit more powerful. And yeah, this is basically the same thing. You get slowed, you can attack, you can silence for a while, like you channel and then you get slow. It's kind of like a Varus Q, but also you can be stopped. So it's like a Smite ultimate. You know how Smite ultimates, for everyone who doesn't play Smite, they have this thing where if when you channel them, you cannot be stopped. So yeah, same thing. And for the next 6 seconds, you get a bunch of buffs. You basically it just becomes the Q just becomes better, and you get basically the Vayne Q treatment of becoming stuff when you get this. Then W, I believe, yeah, it just gets more of a shield if you get something, if you block something. Shield reduce some for the verse. Yeah, it's just that. It's bigger AoE and bigger shield. Then E, I believe it takes away, apparently. Yeah, apparently it just takes away the second jump, which why you get like this really cool ability. And then you just remove it. Like, why would you do that? Also, she has like a Sheen proc that also deals cleaves and heals. Which, yeah, I mean, for her class, for her whole skirmisher thing she has going on, sure. But I feel like this kind of, I don't know, it makes the concept kind of boring. Like, you start off with this really fun and interesting kind of wind, playing in the wind kind of character, and then you get to this, and it's like, okay, let's do that again, but a little bit different, and just not as fun. It's like, why? It's like, yeah, sure, you get like 2 kits in one, like not as a transformation. It's just you get quote unquote buffed version of the game. That's kind of boring to me, at least. I think it's not very interesting. Instead of just having like an actually cool ultimate. Then the lore, I mean, she's like, you know that card from Legend of Runeterra that's like this fun lady? Well, that's basically that. And she meets, well, she quote unquote meets, she sees Yasuo training, and then she starts trying to do the whole wing thing, and she kind of succeeds, but then she sees Noxus attacking Ione, and she's like, oh shit, I better go back to my home, to the Green Glade, and just protect it from Noxus, because the usual thing of, oh, I'm so bored here, it's so boring, I'm gonna go explore the world, and then she figures out, oh shit, the world is kind of dangerous, and then she goes back, but now she's like, okay, I know how to fight now, I'm gonna protect my home. And yeah, okay, sure. It's whatever. I don't even. So yeah, the post OP added like a bunch of shit, like builds and stuff. I mean, this is fine, like adding. This is cool, but I feel like I feel like it doesn't add anything. Like, yeah, sure, you can have like an idea for whatever build, but face it, like when someone builds a character, builds for whatever character, they just choose whatever the fuck they want. Like, face, how many like weird but somehow effective builds you've seen? It's like, yeah, sure, it's nice because like in this particular case, she has like a lot of different type of build. You have like either Cinderhold or Runic Echoes for like tanky-ish. In fact, even she does have. He doesn't have CC, right? Says in me she gets like fucking Road of Ages or something like that. But so yeah, it's fine. It's well furbished, I guess. Like there's a lot of to see. So in that case, yeah, sure. But yeah, it's whatever. It's added content, Yeah, I shouldn't complain about content. That it's good content, right? And yeah, they add like this character sheet, I guess you could say, and then they add like stats and whatnot. But yeah, I feel like it's a bit of a waste. Well, not a waste, but this not something I would focus on. That's just me. Okay, I'm a lore nerd. I kind of put gameplay second always. So yeah, I like this one. I feel like the ultimate is a bit especially since it kind of kills the E, which was the most fun ability in this whole kit. But sure, and yeah, it is a bit similar to Nars. To Nars E, or was it W? The Nar jump that like skips on top of people, but it's also different. It works differently enough to merit like actually existing. And it has like attack speed buff and whatnot. Okay, so let's talk about Brooks Theoptics now. Now, I really thought this one was gonna win because of how much attention it had, and in general for like overall quality of the post and of the champion itself. Which I will be completely honest, when I first read this, I didn't like it for multiple reasons. Like, for once, I felt it was kind of boring. I felt like the kid was whatever, and also I don't know, I became kind of salty for some reason. I was like, oh, you're so cool with your long ass fucking lore that goes nowhere, and all your like drawings and shit. I don't even know if they're yours, right? You probably stole all this shit. I was like really mad for some reason. But maybe I was having a bad day. I don't know. But then I actually sat down and read it. I was like, you know what? This is actually a lot cooler than I gave it credit for. I mean, it's still nothing like wow, but it has a lot of really cool stuff going on. And I really invite you to check out the whole post because it has like a bunch of art and whatnot, and it has this whole as I was saying with Medivh, he has like this whole Fey Celtic stuff going on, and I'm a bitch for that. I'm such a sucker for like Druid, ancient Celtic mythology stuff. That's why I'm so excited for the Volibear rework, because he has like that idea going on, and all the shit that happened on the Udyr versus Volibear thing, lore story that we had a while ago. So yeah, it has that, and it has like a bunch of other shit, and it's pretty nice. The character itself has a lot of personality, and yeah, unfortunately there's a problem with the lore, and it's that it's incomplete. But OP already said, well, I'm actually like, he's actually making like a bunch of stuff. He's gonna take this, what he had, and instead of just releasing it like one single cohesive bio, he's gonna release it like one like long story. And yeah, I can I share that sentiment. I have one or two concepts that are like, okay, you know what, I need to make something out of this, and can just keep it as a champion concept on a random fucking subreddit. Not to diminish the value of the subreddit, just saying that if you have an idea that can be turned into something much bigger, then yeah, just go ahead, use it. And in this case, yeah, I can kind of see that. Emphasis on kind of. I don't think it's like on like basis, like from a basic standpoint, it's not that interesting. But I can see a very character centric, where the protagonist really just carries the whole book through. It's just by being witty and being fun to read, and being charismatic and entertaining. So the idea behind this guy is basically, apparently he was like a Nathan Drake style character, or either that or just kind of like a thief of some kind. He goes around and he wants to, he wants to redeem himself. Essentially, he wants to, okay, I don't want to steal anymore. I don't want to be like this anymore. So he goes to the Freljord to go check out a magic place called the Raven's Car, which I'm not sure if it's on the map or if it's made up. I don't know. But to be honest, it probably should be there. It's like this frozen-ish taiga fairy forest place with like weird Celtic magical creatures. As I said the other day, like OG Fae, which are also like monsters and shit, like just crazy nonsense. And again, check out all the art that this post has, because it has like a lot of really cool shit. There's like this giant bird with a skull head and shit, like this like bear druid thing. It's really nice. I don't know who made this art. Maybe it was made by the artist, by OP, but I don't know. It doesn't say. Also because it's an Imgur, so Imgur. I bitch about Imgur in the other video, so anyway. So it has like a lot of cool things and just odd synergies. So let's go point by point. So passive. Basically he gets lethality out of bonus HP, which, I mean, I don't know how to feel about that. It's cool for a skirmisher type character. I mean, then again, you have Darius, right? He just gets 30% armor pen, so I guess that's fine. I guess that's totally fine. Yeah, sure, he doesn't miss bonus HP for this, but also he like there's other characters that do this, like arguably even better. So maybe it's fine, like a bunch of lethality out of bonus HP. Also, it doesn't work against tanks, so it's really specifically anti-bruiser, well, maybe not so much bruiser because there are more armor items for bruisers now. And when I say more, I say Death Dance. That's basically it. But against tanks, it's just not as good. Not as good as, say, Darius or Mordecai, so we just get like percentage penetration. But other than that, he has the after level 5 thing, and this one is really cool. Basically, after landing 3 hits, you get a copy of, what is it? The biggest item, yeah, the most expensive item of that champion, excluding boots for some reason. I don't really get why is that. Like why excluding boots? I mean, you already get like a bunch of move speed. Let's get to that. So the way this works is you have like a 7th. So it's kind of like Casio, where she just gets like an extra item slot. Well, this guy kind of gets that too, but all the stats of that like bonus item he gets, which let's face it, most of the time is gonna be Trinity, considering how this champion works. Most times it's gonna be Trinity or what was this Bloodthirster. More often than not, you get those stats for only a 4th of the stats. And anything that isn't like the stats themselves, anything that says like unique passive, unique active, yada yada, it's turned into just 5% movement speed. So more often than not, you're gonna get either 10 or 15% bonus movement speed, plus a 4th or whatever other stats. Which, like, you already get bonus stats on the passive, but at the same time, how terrible is that? I think it's okay. I think it can be balanced. Maybe like reduce a little bit the scaling on the first passive, and focus more on the steal aspect of the passive. Cause like, yeah, just remove nerf the whole lethality per bonus HP, and instead go for the whole I get a little bit of your stats, which is kind of like Mort's ultimate, where he gets 10% of your stats. Only Mort's ultimate actually steals your stats for a duration. So this guy doesn't actually steal anything. He just gets like a copy of it. And he doesn't even get most of it. He just gets the stats and a bunch of movement speed. I guess that's why he doesn't get boots. But at the same time, like, wouldn't it be fun if you just got like uber fast, right? Like, maybe that makes him too broken on early game, because most of the time early game, like, the most expensive thing you're gonna have is like Ninja Tabi or Mercury Threads. But if you go against this guy, he's probably Ninja Tabi. If you go this guy top lane. So yeah, I guess you just get like a bunch of movement speed. You don't even get the armor. But you do get the armor. You get like a little bit of you don't get the anti auto attack thing. So yeah, how terrible would that be? I guess he decided, well, if I'm gonna give him movement speed instead of the actual effects, then just screw it, not boots. Also, he doesn't get consumables, which makes sense. There's not much to say there. It's sure. So I guess like against some champions like but it's level 5 though, so it's after level 5. So yeah, like against champions that get corrupting potion, sure, it's like it skips the corrupting potion, but at the same time, it's like at level 5 you probably already have. They probably already have an item that costs more than corrupting potion. Unless they win corrupting potion plus boots, in that case you're kind of fucked. But whatever, that's little tech things to know when facing this guy. You know, if you pick a champion, if you see this guy, then say, okay, fuck you, I'm gonna wreck your early game. I'm gonna pick, I don't fucking know, Ornn or Olaf or something like that. Something that goes corrupting potion, it just kills him. So then we have the Q, which, so at first I was like, okay, how the fuck does this ability work? And there's multiple reasons for that. First of all, the idea behind this is that you press Q, right? And for a while you can have Q held. No, for a while you can choose to hold Q and then like draw like a pattern on a big ass AOE. Like the guy itself, he said, I actually asked this. I had like a little bit of a conversation with it, like, how the hell does this ability even work? He says, okay, so this like big ass area is like Kindred's W, he said. And the idea is that you hold Q and then you like draw like a line or a pattern or whatever, and then like his claw, because he has like a big ass raven claw on his left side, he like swipes that particular pattern, right? And okay, that's cool, but I did have a problem with this, and is that how does this animate? Like, does he have like a Sonic Unleash arm? Has anyone played or watched anything about Sonic Unleashed? You know how he turns into a werewolf, right? And then he like his arms just are made of rubber, right? He like extends them, and then like swipes in a big arm because his arm is just like, Mr. Fantastic. So like every time I visualize this, I was like, okay, but what if like I draw like a big circle, or like I start doing like this and then release it? Like does he like start spinning his arm or some shit? Like it looked so silly in my head, and I was so hell bent on making it work in that way. I was so hell bent on that like animation, silly ass animation I had in my head, that I just refused to accept that was how the ability worked. But I guess that's how it's supposed to work. But then I thought, okay, what's the way to either that, or the like his arm is huge. Which if you check his splash art, you will see his arm is indeed huge, but it's not big enough either. Like it's not like sure it's big, but it's like Darius X big, or maybe Riven, reforged sword big, like at best. But that's still not big enough. So what I thought, okay, this is like an Earth slash type of situation. Fiddlestick's new E, where he like slashes the air and the actual AoE happens somewhere else. Where I thought is, okay, so what's happening here? This guy's like striking the air so hard and with so much precision and power that like the air is actually the one hitting you. And if you are like at melee range, he actually like hits you with a claw, which I mean doesn't deal different damage, but whatever. It's like it's kind of like how Rakan hits you with his wing, or he just slaps you. Where whether like different depending on what range you are. Or again, like Thresh, either he like flails his thing, or just hits you with the like hook thing he has. Which, if you think about it, like the range attack should deal more damage, but it deals the same damage, so it doesn't matter. So what I'm trying to say here is, yeah, it's kind of like not well explained. Like right off the bat, it's not really well explained. But also, even if you understand how it works, like, you start to think about it. Wait, how is this supposed to work? How is this supposed to like actually look in game? If you give a shit about that anyway. And I would say, yeah, no, he's actually like striking the air, and the air is the one hitting you. That's why he doesn't have like a stand arm or something. It's not like a. If you look at the arm in the splash art, you will see it's not like a big spindly arm. No, it's like a big heavy thing, right? So like, how does it work? But no, that's why I think it's actually him striking the air so precisely and with so much power that he's hitting you with like the shockwave, and that's just badass. Like, let's face it, that's just cool. Like at least a lot cooler than that weird Mr. Fantastic arm, which is the first thing I thought about. Then you have the W, which is supposed to synergize with this. Basically, you make like a bunch of clones, quote unquote, and the clones just kind of follow your cursor around. You like go around, you like move them around, like kind of like what's the name of this? Like Yumi-Q, right? And it just like passes through enemies and deals damage. And I guess the idea is that it combos with this. You go around, you slash them, and then you hit them twice and whatnot. And the thing about that I love about this is that even though like it seems like kind of weird, like why would it do that? Like, what's the point, right? But it has the whole, okay, like it hits like multiple times per ability, so it's like you can proc Conquer, or you can proc Electrocute, you can proc like a bunch of shit, And I just love that, like simple stuff that has some form of synergy. Like you know when those you have like abilities like say what was this Icathian Rain, Kaiser's Q, where it would be so simple as just deal damage, like blast damage to whatever nearby enemy, and you just deal more damage depending on like how little enemies are around you. But no, it's actually like each hit is like a targeted thing, and it's like multiple hits, so you can have it synergize with like more mana, for example. And that's what makes this type of abilities, even if it feels like why would it work that way? If you stop to think about it, it's like, oh wait, that's actually really nice that it works that way because it procs different effects or has different things. Then we have the E, which it's simple. It's like he blasts like a flashlight out of his arm, and if the enemy is facing him, it blinds them. Like that's it. It's not much. It blinds them if he hits them while they're facing him. It's kind of like what's the name of this? Cassius R, basically. Then we have the R, which I don't even. It's really cool, but I'm not sure what to think of it. Like I already said, okay, I love this from a kind of okay, this is like a cool idea, cool like tech, specific hate type of ability. Of like, if you pick this against like a champion has a lot of healing, yeah, you're just gonna fuck him up. But I feel like there's not enough champions where this is gonna be useful. Like, yeah, like this is all about against burst healing champions essentially. So the thing that it does is that you target an enemy champion and then you kind of like revert their health to the state it was 4 seconds ago. So it's kind of like Echo Ult, but in reverse, sort of. And it's kind of funny because it actually counters Echo Ult, which is pretty sweet. But the thing is, usually this burst healing, like the window of opportunity you have to actually use this ability correctly, is a bit too narrow. I feel like it should have something else. Like you should be able to target, what's the name of it? Like ally champions in order to like heal them instead of getting this. It also applies grievous wounds, which like it either applies for 4 seconds or 8 seconds, depending on whether their health was higher or lower. Actually, the other way around. If the health was lower 4 seconds ago, it applies grievous wound for less time. If it was higher 4 seconds ago, it doesn't actually do anything, but it applies grievous wound for longer. So either way, you're like fucking over all these healing champions. If you pick a Mundo against it, you're pretty much asking to get killed. That's what I'm getting from here. You also, because you have this E and whatnot. So yeah, basically this is all about anti-bruiser style. You like to take away heavy items. Bruisers usually have pretty big heavy items with a lot of bonus effects. Q and W just fuck over sustain because they just keep poking and poking. You're gonna be in most trades with this thing. Then Lens Flare just blinds, which is terrible for everyone. And then R is like, ha, I healed up, and they just cast R, and it's like, ha, no, you don't. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and it's fun. Again, it doesn't add too much, but it adds quite enough. Like it adds more than the other concept I talk about in this video, because it actually has like a specific idea, like a specific, I guess, role to play in the game, which is to be this kind of an elegant, but also like it's kind of an elegant, but at the same time it's really elegant. It's weird. It has like these really cool things going on, but also it has like specific fuck you abilities for a specific class, and I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I do like it. I didn't like it at the beginning for like weird personal reasons that I seriously cannot remember anymore, but I do really like it now. As for the lore, well, there isn't much to say here. It's which sounds weird, right? Like holy shit, this lore is massive, but actually it doesn't say anything. It's like not even like a prologue of a book, right? Because OP already said he's gonna do like much bigger thing. but it's nice. Basically, what I'm getting from here is this guy wants to go to this place to get something called the Forbidden Idol, which apparently was an item back in the day that built into like Heart of Gold, I believe, or something like that. And no, wait, no, never mind. That was Philosopher's Stone. Forbidden Idol is that that thing that all supports build for I believe Redemption, right? Yeah, this builds into Redemption and what was it? Ardent Sensor, I believe it builds into basically all the mana items, all the items that have mana, like big support items, built from Forbidden Idol. And so I guess he gets like cursed or something, and like vertically, well, like his left half becomes like half raven essentially. And I don't know, he gets cursed, or maybe he becomes like an avatar for some god or something. It doesn't say because again the OP kind of omitted that. Appears to be walking cursed himself. Hold up, a vast and mythical equal to. It doesn't say, right? Yeah, that's the thing. He doesn't say what he is. He's like this treasure hunter guy, and then that's it. He goes to this place and gets cursed or something, and turns like half crow, and that's it. And there's like these people who want to stop him, and there's like this like sniper girl, and I don't know. It has like a bunch of characters and whatnot, but it doesn't actually say anything. So for now, it's not complete. Basically, I was really confused that this didn't win, but fair enough. Like the other one that actually won was also pretty good, even though the lore wasn't as thought out, I guess. But yeah, sure. Again, doesn't add too much, but it adds quite enough, and I think it has enough personality overall. And there's a lot of effort put into this too. So yeah, that's always admirable. Admirable. There we go. Admirable. Okay, so now Achirem, the Sphinx of Foresight. So this one has some cool ideas behind it, even though it has like weird explanations for it. Mainly the passive, because the rest of it is pretty straightforward. Pretty basic mage, pretty much. Like basic artillery mage. I don't know if artillery mage mid laner. Yeah, there we go. So the way this guy works, basically, think of it as Mage Cain, essentially. But the way it works, it's kind of weird, because I'm pretty sure it's meant to function like it's more interactive than Cain. What I'm trying to say here. So basically, you filled up a bar when you damage champions, and then the way it works, apparently, is you damage champions, right? And then you fill up this bar, but instead of just choosing once, you can choose up to 3 times. Now, I don't really get why, because the way this functions is if you choose the same thing twice, then you get one effect. If you choose the other twice, you get the other effect. So you have the lion and the hawk. But the thing is, I don't get why you have to choose multiple times. Like, why do that? Like, I guess the idea is, like, as the game progresses, but at the same time, well, what about Cain? He gets to choose. Like, you know how Cain damages a specific type of champion, and then he gets like one available, like right off the bat, but he can wait a little bit and have the other one, right? This one, it's like you have to constantly choose differently, and I don't get the point of that, because you don't actually get anything after like if you choose one, you get like different bonuses, and then if you choose it again, you get a transformation. You just need to choose one of them twice, and like you gotta choose you gotta choose either one, like the first time it pops up. Like why would you wait for it? Like I can see kind of like Kain. Like sometimes you get like a bunch of squishies, but you don't want to be Shadow Kain. You want to be Rast. So you just wait. And I guess this is a bit more interactive, but at the same time, it's like, really? What's the point? Now, like reading like just like that without knowing that it's supposed to be clicking the portrait, which it says here. If it didn't have this, it would be interesting because the choices are known as fight or flight. So what if you actually had to either fight or flight once the bar is filled? Say you get some form of bonus, and if you don't attack in the time, you get the flight. But if you deal like a bunch of damage during that, you get the fight version, and then you get to like, and that's how it would work, right? But no, you just have to choose thrice, yeah. And I don't know. Other than that, like yeah, it's basically Mage Kain. If you choose the Lion, you basically become more of an assassin. You get more melee-ish abilities, and you get like a bunch of bonus true damage and splash damage for some reason. I don't know. It's okay. And then if you choose the Hawk, you get more like, you basically become more of a chiller mage. You get more range in your abilities, and you get like more DPS based stuff, which is interesting. But I just don't get why you have to choose multiple times. And I really wanted to talk about this first because it's really important for the rest of the kit. But let's talk about the lore a little bit, because this has a really cool idea. So you may have read one of the loading screen tips that it says that quote-unquote failed ascensions are known as Bakai. However, here we're given the idea that the Bakai aren't necessarily, or at least some Bakai aren't necessarily failed ascensions, as in like aborted ascensions, right? But instead, it's more of ascensions that don't really function in the way that the Empire wanted to. Like you know how all the ascended Shurimans are supposed to be warriors, are known as the God Warriors. Either they have some form of, like some of them, I think there were two like brothers who had like future sight or something like that. But you know, they didn't fight. They just had like this weird prophecy shit going on with like weird bones they have like rattle around. But I guess they had like that power. They had it like right off the bat. This guy, like, they just look at him and say, okay, you don't have like any real power, and you like lost most of your humanity. You're like mostly cat and bird. You're not like so much of a god warrior, like the way we expected it. So we're gonna exile you, or rather, we're gonna sacrifice you. But the guy is like, wait, no, I had this vision of a lion and a hawk. And the thing is, the guy after he like leaves, he escapes. He starts like getting more and more powerful because he starts like understanding his vision more and more. So yeah, the idea is that he actually contacted some form of celestial presence or something, and depending on what he chooses, which is kind of like you know, Kain and Rast, where he can go either way. He can either be corrupted by Rast, or consume Rast essentially and become Shadow Kain. This is the same thing. He will either like assimilate, I guess, either the lion as like the fighting spirit, or the hawk as more like the free spirit. So yeah, that's cool. Like, I like the idea. I like using like unused lore that Riot has. You know, like Riot has like a bunch of just completely thrown away lore laying around, and it's great that someone actually is doing something with it. So other than that, yeah, he's just a Sphinx. There's a image here which it won't load, but I'm gonna leave it there. Maybe it loads. But yeah, there isn't much else to say about that. And like, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, he has like a bunch of AoEs, and that's it. And depending on what, no, There we go. Depending on what you chose, you get some form of bonus. Like no, wait, except for the Q that just gets like anything, gets the same bonus regardless. Triggers. Okay, you just get double passive. Yeah, that makes sense. Because the passive, like this is like bonus damage, and this like gives you movement speed, and also what was it? Oh yeah, it restores a bunch of mana. Yeah, and if you hit like this is supposed to be kind of like I don't know. I don't really understand how this is supposed to work. I understand kind of like a reverse. What was this? Reverse TFQ, right? Like instead of being like 3 cards, like outward, it's like 3 like wind gusts, but like it converts into a center, right? There's like a line that you can cast it twice. It does different things depending on what you chose. And this is like you charge it up, you deal damage in a cone. If you chose the line, you dash, and the other one you can like do it from farther away, basically. And then the R, you basically just throw this thing, it's like the spirit, and it does something different. It does like a bunch of damage, and it like hits everything on its path. It's kind of like Nautilus Q, Nautilus Ultimate, and it gets like a bonus, different bonus depending on what you chose. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, that's nice to have like a basic Kane's passive on a mage. I think that's really cool. But other than that, there isn't much else to say. I do like Sphinxes though. I do feel like that we should have some form of a Sphinx or something similar to a Sphinx in League, because Riot likes taking classic stuff, but then like morphing it slightly so that it feels more unique. But like you can tell what it's trying to accomplish, like what it's trying to like reflect, right? What like classic myth is trying to reflect, to try to mirror, but it has like an extra touch, so it doesn't feel like it's just like copy pasted. So yeah, it's nice. Kane version of Mage has like basic bitch AoEs and stuff. Yeah, this could work. I would like something like this, but like the lore is cool. I invite you to read it. It's well written. It's short, but it's nice. And yeah, I like it. Okay, so now let's talk about the winner of this month's contest, and that is Calypso, the Song of the Storm. Now, okay, so Calypso, it's already it's a Greek myth. It's basically this big here we have the image, but again it won't load. It's this big lady with tentacle, like half under half. Think of like giant Ursula from Little Mermaid. That's basically it. So this champion is interesting. If you ask me, she's broken as shit, but she doesn't have much lore either. She's like, yeah, whatever. She's a sea monster that likes to sink ships because she's an asshole. Also, I just saw this, like the stats, and it has something that says critical damage 200%. Like, yeah, no shit, dude. What? Like, if it had like a different value, then yeah, sure, have that. But why? But whatever. So this character has an interesting idea, which is the W. So the whole idea is that she has like a permanent like storm around her. Think of it. She starts off the game with a Bammy Cinder, basically. That kills off of missing health. That's basically it. She starts off the game with kind of a Bammy Cinder, but also it works kind of like what was this thing? Senna's E, was it? You know the Senna thing that makes like an EOE around her and camouflages her allies. Well, it's kind of like that, but it doesn't actually camouflage them. It just it just like creates silhouettes essentially. It's like if you could see, you know, when you leave Senna's like AoE camouflage thing, you come out as like this like crawling wraith thing. Well, imagine that, but it was like only inside of the storm thing she has. Like if you're inside this little storm, which is not very big, by the way, unless you cast the ultimate, but we'll get to that. You like they can see you, but they will only see like something else, right? And you're untargetable. So I mean, I tried something like this once, so fair enough. I don't think it's terrible. It just, I don't know. I like the idea of a champion that is like large and kind of like this walking disaster essentially, like this big ass monster thing that, you know, has like really powerful basic attacks and whatnot, and has like a constant effect around it. Like basically this is like a kaiju style creature. You know how we have like champions that are supposed to be big and whatnot, but we don't really have like a character that really feels like a big powerful creature, right? This one is interesting in that sense because it's literally just a fucking walking storm with tentacles. You know how in Godzilla King of Monsters, King Ghidorah had like a fucking hurricane around him, like at all times. It was like this passive ability. So yeah, that's basically it. Then her other attacks are basically like this range, like waves she throws, and it like pulls enemies slightly. Like this really slow thing she throws, and when it hits something, when it hits the target, it pulls enemies towards her very slightly. And yeah, like that's it. That's neat. Like again, the idea of this really powerful monster that whatever it moves, it does like a really powerful effect. But at the same time, it's like I'm not sure if I like it. I mean, I like it and I don't like it. I don't think anything should have that much power just on its basic attacks. And yeah, sure, it doesn't sound as much, but yeah, it still is a constant knockback, you know, a constant pull, basically. But then again, we have Ash's passive, so is it that terrible? I don't know. So yeah, there isn't much else to say. It's like the Q is like this is spammable, like this thing you can throw it 3 times in the span of a few seconds, and then the whole idea is that if you land all 4, like you can cast it 4 times, and if you land all 4, you pull the target. That's basically it. And then you have the E, which is like this storm thingy that you throw to a location. Well, you throw in a line, and it has this weird effect where if you hit something with an ability, but most specifically with a projectile ability or an auto attack, like if you hit something that is inside of the storm with a projectile ability, not any ability, just a projectile ability, and or an auto attack, you refresh a little bit of mana, and that's like, first of all, it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like we start off with like this like big AoE monster creature thing, and then all of a sudden we have like mana refreshing and extremely specific like effect triggers, and what? It's cool, but I don't get the point. Like, why does she do that? Whatever. And then the ultimate, it's I don't know, it's nothing special. It's like she massively increases the size of her storm. And like on cast, it charms all enemies hit. Like you drop this, and then you boom, it fucking increases the size of the thing, and then you charm all enemies if you hit them like on the first effect. I think it's on the first effect. Increasing the radius, tripling damage, whatever. Slowly charm to her current precision. Okay, so it doesn't say, yeah. So it's like you cast it, you charm, and then you like increase the size of your storm for a while, for 8 seconds. And yeah, it's like again, it's cool. It has cool ideas, but at the same time, it had like this weird thing, and then the ultimate, it's fine. It's big, strong, and whatever, but again, it's not like super interesting. So yeah, this one won apparently, and yeah, I can see why, but at the same time, really, this was the best. Do you guys really think this was the best? I'm a bit torn. I'm not entirely sure that I agree with that, but you know what? Fine. So now we talk about Panoch, Bringer of Revelry, and this one. Okay, I'm just gonna say right off the bat, this guy's broken as fuck, but I kind of like it. And yeah, so again, this one is another fawn. Although I feel it's more of a satire because he like plays the flute or whatnot, and that's more of a satire thing. But yeah, this one is from Mount Targon, and he's like a Targonian Vestaya, basically. And yeah, basically he's like from a tribe of Vestaya who like to party, and it's like a way of worship essentially. They made like big parties, and that's how they pray to the gods essentially. And that's essentially what happens. And this guy, he's one of the youngest, and wants to roll around Runeterra, bringing joy. He's called like Rakan before meeting Xayah. That's pretty much it. He's religious Rakan before meeting Xayah. That's basically what's going on here. And yeah, sure, fine. There isn't much else to say. He's a range. He's a support. Well, no, he's not range. I think it was range. Well, anyway, he's a melee support. And yeah, so yeah, this guy is pretty ridiculous, but I liked some of these ideas. So basically, right off the bat, like the passive, he has right off the bat he has a passive that grants all nearby allies for 6 seconds 45% increased attack speed. Now, sure, you could change this, but still, AoE increased attack speed and reducing spell cooldowns for quite much. Even if you said, well, whatever, it's like well, sure, you can make this scale per level or something. Oh, yeah, it's still very strong. Every 30 seconds, and it's reduced for every art attack he does. It's like, what? No. That's a bit much. I'm sorry. Then we have the Q, which just heals. It's a tiny heal. Yeah. And if the target is like really fucking low, they get a bunch of movement speed. And then he can cast it 4 times. No, 3 times within 4 seconds. There we go. So yeah, so this is basically kind of like the whole concept of like our character. He's like plays different songs, or rather he like plays 1 or 2 songs, and that like helps allies basically. So left of the party, he dashes, and it's an unstoppable dash. There we go. It's a dash. It's an unstoppable dash, and it's meant more or less to combo with E basically. And it also has a passive, which is kind of neat. You get bonus move speed. He gets a little bit of bonus move speed. And then when you're in combat, over 3 seconds, you get even more move speed. And then you get a shield, which is nice. You basically have butt fuck ton of move speed during combat. And the first time you enter combat, you get a shield. So yeah, he's even more like Rakan. That's the thing. He's a bit too much like Rakan. And that's my main problem with it. Like his Q is a heal. I mean, sure, he has the shield and a bunch of mobility. So yeah, even the ultimate is very similar. Like actually, if you combine the E and the ultimate, you just have Rakan's ultimate, and that's a bit of a problem. I'm not sure how to feel about that. He's basically a different Rakan, but with more less about like jumping around and shielding, and more about like buffing. He's really like a more buff focused Rakan. Then we have the E, because the E, what he does is like he starts like channeling. For up to 4 seconds, and then he charms everyone in an AoE. But the weird thing about this is this is a charm, but it's actually a sleep, because what it does is like when you hit anyone, it charges, and it's like like Gallia's taunt. When you hit anyone, they all suffer like a buttfuck ton of damage, and then they're all stunned for like this like if you hit anyone, if someone gets hit inside of this charm thing, they all suffer damage and get stunned. And it's like, why? that's too much, dude. And then the R is just Sivir's ultimate on steroids. Yeah. It's just Sivir's ultimate on steroids. And also they get like they get like Omnivamp. It's Sivir ultimate plus Omnivamp. 2 all allies hit, and it's like, why? Jesus Christ. It's like, why? It's like, it's a bit too much, I'm not gonna lie. It has like a nice theme to it, but again, it's just Rakan with a different flavor. It's basically just Rakan. So I don't know, and like regular Rakan was already pretty broken. This guy is even more broken because he just has more stuff and more damage and more shit. It's like, really, dude? Really? I mean, sure, doesn't have as many shields, but he has like a bunch of buffs. He has like attack speed buffs and shit. He has like damage, well, not damage buffs, but he has like this thing that has like Omnivamp. It even has like the Death Stance effect. Like, really? That's a bit much, dude. I don't know. It's a bunch of AoE damage too. Like, he's fast as fuck, boy. It's the story's nice. Like the idea of like really cool like satire, or rather fun like cultists that like to party. Yeah, that's cool. But again, he's just Rakan with like a different design. Like in parallel universe Rakan. I don't know. I don't know. It's what else am I supposed to? Okay, so now let's talk about Lei Dian. I don't know how to pronounce that. The Ionian Thunderbolt. So yeah, this one's interesting, cause so okay, so let's start off with the bio. It's odd. It's this like lightning mage. It's like experimenting with apes. He's like shocking monkeys essentially, and then he fucks up, and then he like overshocks a monkey, and then the monkey becomes like super intelligent and super powerful, and for some reason he wants to kill everyone. Okay, sure. I really only have one problem with this. It's, why is he Ionian? This is clearly either Zonite or Itchali, like Itchal stuff. Like lightning with like apes and shit. Like, yeah, this is like Zon shit going on. Maybe Itchal because lightning, it's elemental and whatnot, and maybe they have like some monkey lying around and something, I don't know. But it doesn't make any sense. You know how in Itchal apparently they like using elements in different ways and whatnot. But yeah, why is this guy Ionian? It doesn't make any sense. It's just random. And yeah, it kind of carries over like, with the whole other thing. Is that the whole kid? Is that he has like really cool ideas and then he doesn't. It's like, okay, passive, really cool. Q, really cool. W, okay, it's kind of whatever. E, wow, this is boring. R, wow, this is fucking boring. Like, it's like it loses fuel so quickly. I don't know what to think of this. It's like, did OP didn't have time? Did something happen? I don't know. Because, like, okay, so passive. Wrecker. That's it. He has an Wrecker on his basic attacks, 30-second cooldown. Awesome. You know what? Great. Wrecker was a cool concept, but it was a shit item. Let's face it. It was garbage. It had an awesome active. It just wasn't worth it. If it was like a rune, or I don't know, like a smaller item, something you could like sell afterwards or something. But nah, yeah, I don't know. It was garbage, but this kind of nice. I can see this, and yeah, the rest of the kit is based on auto attacks, so yeah, that makes sense. Really great, like split pusher thing. You can have this. You can like stun a turret for 2 seconds, and that helps because he won't kill your minions, and extend a little bit your I guess pushing window. It's nice. And then he basically has no mana. Instead, he like moves around and he gets like this thing called static. And the more static he has, he gets more movement speed. He has up to 15 movement speed. Okay, yeah. And the movement speed, it's only out of combat. So yeah, sure, that's nice. So then we get to the Q, which kind of comes out of nowhere, but it's really cool. So I'm okay with it. Because what it does, you shock an enemy, and their movement becomes inverted. Like if you click here, then instead of like someone is here, right, and they click here, instead of going here, they go this way. So yeah, it's convoluted, and I believe that he asked about that, like in the Discord, if that was a good idea, and they said, well, we don't think it's a good idea, but it's kind of neat, so whatever. And yeah, I agree. It's kind of weird. I'm not even sure how this would be coded, but you know what? Fine. It's cool. It doesn't really connect to anything else. Like, why this? But, and it doesn't really do anything once you get used to it. But also, it doesn't last long enough for you to, like, really react to it. Like, oh, shit, I got shocked by Lei Dian. I'm going the wrong way, but by the time you realize you're going the wrong way, you're like already you already have the movement, like the thing figured out, right? But by the time you realize you figure it out, this is kind of already over almost. So yeah, it's fine. Then you have basically that thing. What was this? Oh, what was the name of this? Volibear's ultimate, that does like the chain lightning thing whenever he auto attacks. Well, that plus auto attack speed, attack speed thing buff for 7 seconds. It lasts for a long time, but sure. Face it, Volibear's ultimate is not really that good, so fine, whatever. Also, by the way, it's measuring watts. The cost of everything is measuring watts. That's great. Then he has a dash that deals damage. Wow, that's boring. And then he has an AoE that, yeah, he has a big AoE, he deals damage, and that's it. And then he gets a passive that every once in a while he deals bonus damage. He had a really cool start, really cool ideas, but then it kind of falls off. It's just so disappointing. Like Q, yeah, it doesn't connect to anything, but it's nice. W, okay, that's an ability. Okay, what? Hold up. That's an ability. That's cool. E, okay, that's boring, but sure, usually the E is kind of like the filler ability. But then he goes to the R, he's like, ugh, really? Really? That's boring. Why? Why would you make this? Ugh, whatever. But yeah, sure. He has this like old champion charm. Like I could see this on like arcade mode and in Dota 2. Yeah, I could see this coming out in like a Dota character. You know, with this like they have like more tolerance for like shit like this, for example. And then W would be pretty straightforward. You could add like this, like straight up, maybe without the scaling. But you could have this right, like just like that, as an ability in Dota, and nobody would bat an eye. Maybe it would be a little bit OP, but nobody would care. Same thing with passive. Honestly, the E maybe not really. Like if you had like an ability and it was just this, and then Q, W, and R, yeah, it would be boring, but yeah, there would be a place for that. I can see that. Kind of like a shitty Ursa. Yeah, I can see that. Not really interesting, but sure. Yeah, like again, yeah, I could see that this is a like Dota All Stars removed hero. You know, like a random shit, kind of cool ideas, but kind of loses fuel at the end. Yeah, sure. Next up. Dakeda, yeah, I don't know. The Watcher of the Dam. What's up with the weird name? Seriously. So this guy is a fucking mess. Jesus Christ. Okay, so first off, this guy is like really edgy fuckboy, who's like he has like this Victorian style thing going on, with like a golden mask and a smile. It's like what? That's just silly, right? He like I guess he's supposed to look like this Bloodborne guy. Yeah, I guess that was. Oh right, yeah. Wait, never mind. Okay, no, I get it. It took me a while to understand like what this guy was supposed to be. He's Feather Gascoigne from Bloodborne. If you play Bloodborne, if you didn't play Bloodborne, please play Bloodborne. It's amazing. Like seriously, it's basically that. The guy's like this fancy ass looking guy with an axe, and then he like transforms into a hyena. It's called like Nar. He transforms into like this werewolf hyena thing. He now has 2 axes, and he's from the Shadow Isles for some reason. It's like he's a mess, but it's kind of funny. I don't know. There's a lot of problems with this champion. Like we'll go through it. He has no lore, by the way. He has like this thing, like it's like this poem, but it says nothing. It literally says nothing. You can pause the video. You can pause the video. I'll stop moving the mouse, so you can read it. But there's nothing to say here. So yeah, basically he's Nar, in the sense that he has his human form, which is known as the Watcher form. And then the frenzy form, which yeah, it's that it's like Nar. When he lands auto attacks, he gets fury, and when getting 100 fury, he transforms. That's it. So yeah, he also has bonus effect that when he's human, he gets more vision, and when he's frenzied, he gets a little bit of armor penetration. Sure. Now. He has like a bunch of random ass shit that I really don't get. I'm actually just don't get what's the point of a lot of this. It's like, okay, so let's put an example. The Q, okay, so he throws his axe, right? It's kind of like Olaf's axe, but it stops. I think it stops. Yeah, it stops at the first enemy or epic champion or the first champion or epic monster. And for some fucking reason, it has this effect where it slows and reduces attack speed by 20 to 70%, depending on how much gold the target has related to Dakeda. So if the target has if he has more gold, no, wait, never mind. Hold up. If target has, okay, wait, it's not even consistent. Hold up. If Dakeda has more gold than the target, it slows and cripples by 20%. If the target has 1,000, like just thrown away, like just stacked up their gold, it damages and it slows and cripples for 40%. But if the champion somehow, some way has 5,000 unspent gold more than the Dakeda, then they are slowed and crippled by 70%. It doesn't say if it's unspent gold. Okay, hold up. It has to say. Yeah, very unfocused. Hold up. Does it say? Doesn't fucking say. Man, EA's what the fuck even is this? I don't care. I don't get the gold interaction. Like, how is anyone gonna have 5k unspent gold? More than you, by the way. It has to be more than you. They shouldn't work like this. Like, if you told me, well, the target has more stats or more spent gold than him, like if there's like a big difference, then he does like an equalizing strike kind of thing. Like, okay, yeah, you are much stronger than me. Well, I throw this thing, and now we're in the same level. Like, I can get that. Like, that's kind of neat, but it's not well. It's not well focused. It's the whole thing is just unfocused. It's like a bunch of random shit that makes no sense. Also, this skills on AP because. So, and then we get to the frenzy for it, which has nothing to do, and it cleanses except stun. Excuse me, what? Like it cleanses what? Like it cleanses suppresses too. Like imagine GP's oranges, but for some fucking reason it doesn't cleanse the stuns. You know, one of the most common forms of CC in the game. You know how GP oranges can cleanse stupid shit like Mord's Death Realm? Like like Mort sends you to a fucking like a different plane of reality, and then he just like eats a bunch of oranges, and no, he's back to normal. Well, yeah, this guy who's like all magic and shit, for some reason, like he can cleanse that too, but he can cleanse stuns. Like why stuns specifically? Like this reminds me a lot of old Evelyn's W, where she would only cleanse slows and roots. Like, yeah, that was a specific, but it was like only a specific type of CC. In this case, he cleanses everything except a very common type of CC. It's like, what? Why would you have that? Anyway, so even more random shit. You get Stonewatcher. You basically just place a ward. Yeah, you place a ward. It has a small amount of your HP. And when someone walks past it, it triggers and it starts attacking an enemy. That's it. Yeah, it's a red ward, by the way. Yeah, it's a pink ward that you can have up to 4. So I guess you can just have like a bunch of wards all over. You can ward the entire map, I guess, with this, which is nice. Like if it was focused on that, then yeah, I could see it, but. What it doesn't connect to anything. Then frenzy form is just yeah, he like spins around. He spins around and then like knocks back all enemies. Okay, sure, that's nice, that's cool. So yeah, E. He can apparently he's all about the Stonewatchers now. Like, sure. I guess it's cool because he can like he basically like calls all Stonewatchers to him, and it's like global. It's kind of neat. That's cool. Like if the whole concept was about okay, have like a bunch of like an army of guys, and then like when I turn frenzy, I come in and start fighting. that would be neat, but it's so weird, and even then, it doesn't make any sense. Like, what would you have like an army of guys, and then you have like Nars passive, and then like the rest of the kit is like nothing to do with it. Like, what? Why? Why? Like, sure, Nard doesn't connect, like Mega Nard doesn't connect to Mini Nard that much, but it was like a clear separate thing. Like each one had like a clear identity. This one just does random shit. So then, yeah, it's like the frenzy E is just he just leaps, and then he can it does have this cool mechanic where if he hits a champion or a wall, he can do it again up to 3 times. That's it. And then we have the ultimate, which admittedly is kind of a cool ultimate. Basically, if you are in human mode, you have Warwick's ultimate essentially, and you automatically transform. You basically cast Warwick's ultimate, and you automatically transform into hyena form. And if you're in frenzy mode, you get like a pumped up version of what's this thing? Zack's Q. And then after doing that, you automatically transform into the other thing, into human form. That's really neat. The ultimate is actually really cool. But it doesn't connect to anything. Like this champion is a mess. Such a mess. It has this really cool idea, and it's basically just Feather Gascoigne from Bloodborne. Like visually speaking, at least. But why is he so unfocused? Also, what the fuck? Oh, I know. Never mind. Okay, so I read like armor. Okay, it's 33 to 80, and then I thought this was gonna be magic resist. And I read like the numbers. I was like, holy shit, he has like 65 magic resist level 1. Like, what? No. Oh, okay, again. Why? He okay, so I actually thought about it, and Calypso had like weird scaling on her basic attacks. So I guess it makes sense to like add this to like clarify. Okay, no, wait. Like she actually like deals normal damage on her her crits, but this guy doesn't have any of that. This guy doesn't have any of that shit. Why would you add this? Whatever. So, like, in summary, it's a mess of a champion with really cool individual ideas. Like equalizing strike. I like this idea of if the enemy's stronger than you, or if there's like a big power difference between you and your enemy, you get like bonuses. That's kind of neat. I don't get why it accepts Sun Cleanse. Like, why is that about? Like, Cleanse is already pretty niche, believe it or not. Like, yeah, sure. Like, not everyone builds Quicksilver Sash, for example. Everyone builds Stopwatch, sure, but not everyone builds actual cleansing. And the Summer Spell Cleanse is garbage. Let's face it. I think it has some use in competitive, like in actual competitive. Some people use Cleanse. But yeah, sure. Like my point is, why does it accept has an exception for stun some of things? Like we said, like suppresses or whatever, or like specific effects like Mort's ult or something like that. Yeah, sure, I will get it, but it stuns. Like why? And then you have the whole Stone Watcher thing, which sounds really cool, but it's why. Then like E and W are like just basic shit. Yeah, he can jump like a bunch of times. That's kind of neat. Like that's the thing. Like it has like really cool individual ideas. It just doesn't know what to do with itself. Also, he's from the Shadow Isles for some fucking reason. It's just a mess. I really want the OP to like actually remake this into something actually cohesive. And like keep all the awesome things. The ultimate, you could keep the ultimate just as it is, and then kind of like balance, like design the champion around that, or something really similar. Like the ultimate, you get like Warwick ult, and then you turn into this, and now you can fight, right? And then the other one is like you get this big CC move into 2 enemies, and then it combos into the rest of your kit with Watcher mode. That'll be nice. And I could see this turning be kind of like instead of like Gnar and Jace, which is like ADC turns into bruiser, it could be like support turns into like tank, bruiser, maybe even an assassin. That's kind of neat. That's sweet. But it's like he didn't know what to do. He's like he got like a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of cool ideas, and then just like splashed them all together without any focus. So yeah, I don't know. I use Warwick stats, so I feel more, yeah, I get fair enough. Attack windup. That I feel like this should be added, like in other things, because attack windup is actually very important. But other than that, yeah, it's just holy shit. Okay, so next up, Alana, the half bee, half human Queen of the Hive. I'm gonna guess Queen of the Hive is the title because that's long, way too long. So this champion is interesting because, like, many times you're gonna have champions that are all about. Okay, no, we had like a weird discussion here, but it doesn't matter. A lot of champions that are all about top-down design. We actually saw a bunch of those. I believe Velsa was one of those, and Owanis was very top-down focused. Well, Calypso was pretty top-down focused too. Like taking a lore concept, or like the high. What was the name of this high concept part of the champion, and like trying to put it like one-to-one as a gameplay standpoint. And in this case, I think it's important to ask how much is too much. Because if I'm honest, this might be too much. So how does she work? First of all, okay, hold up, yeah. So yeah, there's like this random lady who gets like fucking. I was gonna say a bad word. He gets fucking, I don't know, kidnapped by like bees. And then she gets turned into the bee queen. Yeah, she just like like hi, how's it doing? She gets fucking destroyed and turned into a half bee, half human. Okay, that's a bit gruesome, but sure. It's funny, right? Like you expect bees to be like a lot more wholesome and cute and whatnot, but this is just wow. Back to the Arthur shit. This is, yeah, but Arthur was kind of self-aware. This is like Jesus Christ. Like actually stop to think about the implications. The other one was like making fun of itself. This one's like straight up fucked up. So anyway, so this thing, the way it's supposed to work is that you can create like bees, and the bees grow up as time goes, which honestly I think it should be totally like removed, but sure, if you want to have that, you can have that. And also the whole thing is that if you sting a target with the bees or your own basic attacks, also they block skill shots, by the way. If you sting a target with your bees or your basic attacks, you stun them and deal like a bunch of damage. And oh, by the way, it's called a seizure. So yeah, like actually seizure, and it has like an on target CD. But yeah, makes sense. And that's okay. That's neat. You know, kind of like Azir, what was the name of this? Malzahar with a stun and bonus damage. Yeah, okay, fine. And then you have like, you can choose a bee to like throw like shoot its stinger, and then it slows all enemies in a line and deals damage and shreds resistances, and then the bee dies because of course it lost its stinger. But yeah, it's like really. And then the hive mind is like you can move the bees, and that's all it does. It has no cooldown. It like you just move bees around, and you can tell the bees to like throw themselves at an enemy. The passive is kind of neat, but let's talk about the passive afterward. And then the R is just really underwhelming. It's like you drop like a bunch of honey and you root enemies, and that's it. Yeah, it's like you leave a splash of honey, and when someone walks on it, they take damage. It's fine. It's whatever. It doesn't even interact with the bees. It's like, okay, so she throws this, and then all the bees like ram into the enemy. No, it's not even like Syndra's ultimate. You know, like at first I thought it was gonna be something like that, but no. But you know, after all of this nonsense, because like the bees have like different stacking times, and they have to grow up to grow into adult bees, and they get like different stats depending. It's a mess. And they interact with honey fruits, which is the passive, which is also the the actual honey fruits in the river and whatnot. And yeah, okay, and yeah, her passive is that she can spawn a honey fruit that needs to grow up for a while. Yeah, like you drop a honey fruit and then you can like fly a bee over it, and then it grows to become an actual honey fruit. That's nice for lane. You can create honey fruits. That is cool. Also, it's like a special honey fruit because it heals based on your AP, and what is it? Enemies. Oh yeah, there we go. Enemies actually take damage and are also slow, but yeah, of course, they're slow as a honey fruit. It's I want to like it, but at the same time, first of all, the lore not only is way too simple and has no explanation, also it's just like not very self-aware in the sense of, oh, holy shit, this is kind of disturbing. And then like the honey fruit is so awesome, but then everything else is like, okay, so you have to like drop a bee, but the bee has to grow up, and then you have to like do different things, and the bee has like stats based on your stats, and then you need the bees like to do all of your stuff. You don't really do anything else without the bees. And it's like it's cool, but it needs more thought put into it. I feel the bees probably are too squishy, although they are pretty strong. Like 50% of your health, that's pretty sweet. But the thing is, this whole maturation thing, it shouldn't even be a thing. This whole like they have to grow up. It's like, really, you're gonna make me go through that, and that just feels tacked on. I have nothing else to say about that. It's cool. Also, you have to. This is the kind of ability that makes me wish for a more Dota-ish style of control. You know how you can like select units you control and then you just move them around like it was an RDS. Instead of having to have like this kind of ability. I don't know. It's nice because it has like the true sight shit and whatnot, and it has like a bunch of other stuff. Like you get like if you can have the beast ram into someone and it deals damage, and it applies the seizure shit, and yeah. But again, how much is too much? And I think this may actually be too much. So on the same note, Dione and Eros, the monarchs. So, okay, so I know I just harped on about like how much is too much and how much top-down design you can cram into a champion, but I gotta be honest, in this case, I kind of prefer it, even if it is absolutely insane. That's the thing. The other one was kind of trying to be a normal champion while also being just kind of inconvenient. This one is not even trying. This one is just insane right off the bat, and it just carries on to just be insane for the rest of the kit. And you know what? I can kind of admire that more than just, oh, I'm just kind of gimmicky. And like that's the thing. Instead of just being kind of gimmicky, it's like, okay, so have like a completely different take on play style. Like, it doesn't even play like a champion in League of Legends. And you know what? I like that. I like that how... Again, I think in the other video I talked about like Heroes of the Storm. How like some heroes could be like completely out there. This like a hero that requires 2 players to be played. Like, yeah, like some insane shit. This would fit there. And you know what? Maybe League does need like completely out there ideas for champions. Because eventually you kind of run out of takes on different, like, or already touched up names. Like, look at Aphelios. Like, yeah, Aphelios, oh wow, he's so cool, whatever. But what does he actually do? He auto attacks. He has ammo. Okay, cool, nice. He like switches between different already existing kits, basically. So yeah, he's just a different flavor of shooting, which works, but you gotta get to a point where that gets old. But this is not gonna get old, never, because I just cannot think of something that is as insane as this character. The lore, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really get it. It's like this insect kingdom in south of Ixtal, and like every once in a while, there's like this magic god caterpillar that chooses to either be a butterfly or a moth, and that's why it's Dione and Eros, because the way it works is that if it's like in moments of peace, it's Dione and it's the butterfly, but if it's on warring times, it becomes into Eros the moth. Okay, so I'm also pretty sure there's more Greek stuff here, but I don't know. Which I feel like it doesn't make any sense. Like if it's like Ishtali style champion, then why does it do that? But fair enough. So yeah, it's not really clear how it works. I mean, it is clear how it works. It just I don't know why it's there. Yeah, it's like okay, so there's like this insect kingdom in south of Ixtal. Okay, cool. They're not like Vastaya. They're like fairies or something. Yeah, it's not very well explained. But let's actually talk about the champion. So yeah, this is really cool. The whole idea is that you start off, and by the way, this is the type of champion that kind of makes me regret doing these kind of videos, because I really plan on like going on this for as long as I can. But if I'm gonna get to this type of champions more often, they're like, oh my god, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But at the same time, I really want to talk about this stuff. So basically, you start off as a caterpillar, that kind of basic attack, and you get like a bunch of really basic abilities. Really basic, although basic, but admittedly really cool abilities. Then what happens is that depending on whether you CC'd enemies or like helped allies, you get different points. It's kind of like Kane, and the idea is that when you fill up this whole like points of nature essence thing, you can press R and turn into a cocoon. So the whole idea is that when you heal or when you like aid allies, you get points into the butterfly form, and when you don't deal damage, by the way. And if you CC and like if you are aggressive, then you get moth points, basically. So yeah, the Q. So yeah, the caterpillar. Let's talk about the caterpillar first. What it does is like, okay, Q. It's basically you shoot like this thing, and then it's like it's like Nautilus Q, where if it hits a wall, then it pulls you towards the wall, right? But also you can like throw it to an ally and it gets a shield, but if you throw it to an enemy, it slows. That's it, right? And it also has like the stackable shield with no time limit. It has like a bunch of other stuff, and I don't really have anything to say about this. I feel like the stackable slow thing is a bit weird. It has a static cooldown. Like the whole idea is that because you're disarmed and deal no damage, you just are constantly throwing this spells. And yeah, I can kind of get the idea, but I don't know. I feel like it's like, again, it's I admire the effort of making something completely unique. And then you have the W, which it's just the type of ability I love, because it eats. What it does, it eats a bush. You destroy a bush, and then you drop a ball that an ally can pick up and heal, or an enemy can pick up. And it says it heals, but yeah, it heals enemies for some reason. I don't really get that. I feel like it's just say it damages enemies, but whatever. The thing is, if it's picked up by an ally, you get butterfly points. If it picks up by an enemy, it gets moth points. And then it's just a passive. You get into a brush, which I feel it's a bit counterintuitive. It's like, okay, you get this, but also you get this. Like, what's the point? Also, the bushes grow again, but whatever. And then finally, once you have all your points, you can like choose. Once you get the points, you can still stack more moth or butterfly points depending on what you want. So and then finally turn into the cocoon. So the cocoon, it's okay. So it's even weirder. The way the cocoon works is that, oh, by the way, if you die and you have all the points, like if you have 100 points, and yeah, if you have 100 points, and you die, you don't actually die. You just turn into a cocoon, and the cocoon cannot be moved, doesn't move, and has a butt fuck ton of damage reduction. And what it does is that you have two toggles. It's Q and W. If you Q, you gain more armor, but if you you get less magic resistance, and if you W, you get more magic resistance, but you lose armor. That's basically it. And then the E gives you even more damage reduction, and then the ultimate becomes a passive, and it gives resistances to nearby enemies. You cannot move, you can't do anything, you're just a sitting duck. You're just this cocoon, yeah? And you cannot die. Even if they drop you down to no health, you cannot go below 5% health. Why? Once you hatch from this thing, which I don't remember, oh wait. Yeah, it does say how long it lasts. Oh yeah, 35% of death timer. Yeah. Yeah, because it's all about like death timers and shit. So once you finally hatch and you transform into an actual champion, what do you get? You either get the moth or the caterpillar or the butterfly, depending on what points you got. So the butterfly, it's all about supporting, and the moth, it's all about killing shit. So the cool thing is that both the auto attacks are like these cones, like the what's this thing? Kale's passive that has to like throw these cone things. Well, there we go. It's like this. Oh yeah, there we go. Oli Righteous Fury. It's kind of like that. Yeah, it does splash damage as Eros and Dione. You can target allies with this because it actually, I believe, okay, no, it doesn't push back. It doesn't push back. And then all their abilities are the same regardless of the form, but it gets a different bonus. It's kind of like Achirem again. It gets a different bonus depending on what you chose. And yeah, it's crazy. Oh, and by the way this works is that once you leave the cocoon, whatever health you had, that's your health that's your current health as the like fully evolved form. And yeah, it's really crazy. I don't even know what to say. Like yeah, that's basically it. Like the butterfly is supportive, and the moth is aggressive. And the way it works is that if you die as anything, well, as the butterfly or moth, you go back to be a caterpillar and have to do all over again. So I don't know what you think about it. I like the final forms because they're actually kind of strong, but at the same time, is this really necessary? Like, okay, I get it, like you don't die, which is neat, right? You basically cannot die. But also, it's like, really, it's way too much. But at the same time, I really admire, like the I don't know, what was this? The passion, right? Like really trying to bring something completely different and unique to the game. And in that sense, I really like it. And also, I just like like butterflies and shit. I just like insects, especially like moths and shit. They just look nice. Same thing with marine life. I said in the other video. It just looks fucking nice, and we need more like fairies and butterflies and shit. It sounds sissy, but I really mean it. We need more weird shit. We need more fairy nonsense and Celtic creatures and something that could come up out of like berserk and shit. Maybe not berserk like as in like demons and all the crazy shit, but all the nice shit. So yeah, that it's insane, and in this case I actually like it because it's not trying to be something that has no like business being. It's just trying to be like its own thing. Like it's not trying to imitate a concept with a different flavor. No, it's just something that doesn't exist, and I really like it. It's kind of similar to something I already made. I don't know if this guy... Oh, wait, no. This guy actually asked me about something. Wait, was it this guy or was it a different guy? I actually don't know. Because I was going to say, well, it's kind of similar to Shiatli. You know, for the ones who know what that is. Where it kind of had the same idea where you kind of like gather resources and then you like transform into like this super creature. And then if you die, you got to go back and do all over again. But you have like you still could like upgrade the base form, so it would be easier like on the long run to transform again. And I guess that's kind of the point. It's increasingly easier to get to the thing, to the form. But at the same time, it's like, oof, I don't know. Like a character that doesn't die, that's really crazy. A character that doesn't die and instead just like keeps going to like this phoenix state. That's a cool idea. Like it's actually like a real phoenix. It just keeps like, it has like this sense of death and rebirth thing going on, and it's really cool in that sense. It's oddly whimsical, which makes sense. It's a butterfly / moth, and yeah, I have nothing else to say. Again, it's like how much is too much, but in this case, I actually want this much. I actually think it earned it, as insane as it is, and it has like a lot of things, like the whole thing of turning into a cocoon. Okay, sure, it's kind of like a Karthus passive. You know how you kind of have to be strategic on where to like drop dead essentially? Well, same thing. You drop dead in a good position where you actually work, right? As a wall, as a literal fucking wall. And also as in a way that you don't suffer after you actually transform into your final form. Which has like, it feels like a real champion, like a regular champion, I guess. But also it still has like really like different things going on. And that's great, and that's awesome. I want more of this. If you're gonna be crazy, if you're gonna add like too much shit, then make it like this. Make it as like actually insane, but also try to be cohesive. It can turn into amazing things. So let's keep going. Let's keep going with the absolute insanity. Hiv'Vaan, Darking Relic. So yeah, that's it. He's a Darking, and he's a Darking. Like his weapon is like this like triple blade floating thing. It's not very clear, but he gets grabbed by a random like poor soul, and the guy like decides to go to Icathia essentially, and he gets like possessed by a thing, by a void guy. But he's like, because he's like a Darkin and really powerful and whatnot, he doesn't get corrupted. He kind of like turns into like this double thing, right? Like this hybrid. He's kind of like Kai'Sa but Darkin, which is kind of neat. That's basically what's going on here. And damn, that's Sisk. This concept has a lot going on. It reminds me of something I made once, but it's like really old, and I think I never posted it here. I posted it like on the actual forums, and then I posted it somewhere else, like for a different game, but I never posted it here because I thought it was too much. But then I look at this, it's like, oh my god. So the way this works is actually kind of interesting. So the passive is that he cannot buy items, but instead he just buys stats, essentially. So he doesn't actually use his inventory, which I'm gonna guess that his like UI wouldn't have his like normal like the UI wouldn't have like item slots. It will have like the bonus stats or something, or alternatively the other thing, which is from minute 3 onward, when he kills a champion, he gets a heart, and what it does is with 2 hearts you can buy what is this? Yeah, you can buy active or passive effects of items. Yeah. Damn. Okay. So he has like a bunch of caps. For example, he can buy like armor and magic band, but he can only go up to like a certain cap. Same thing with tenacity, and like nothing else, I think. And then he has like a bunch of other different things. You know, like if he has more of like a certain thing, he gets he like has to like go upgrade the cost, I guess. But other than that, he can essentially just keep scaling because he has no item slots, he has none of that, and just keep buying this shit. Oh wait, no, he has max. Okay, no, okay, you know he does use item slots. He does use item slots, and he can buy like support items and shit apparently. Okay. Oh yeah, a support item. Yeah, I forget support items are a thing. I play support and I forget that support items are a thing. Or like they call them support items. I always forget. But yeah, you can buy like consumable wards and like quest supports, quest items, and then you can have like actives. I don't know why you would ever buy a support item, but sure. And my only problem with is it kind of kills the clarity, because you can buy like literally any stat. So it's like, okay, you can't just like tab, look at the items and say, oh okay, he has that. No, like well, I mean sure, you can like see the passives or the actives, but also like what about items that have a passive and an active? Like Sarah's Embrace or something like that, or like what's this? Blade of Ruin King. Like if you have like a passive of Blade of Ruin King, but then you buy the active, like it's that different. I mean, well, it does say only 6 of max active, so I guess you can have like any passive, and then like if you buy the active, then you like. You like get slotted into the passive. It doesn't really matter because apparently you don't have like a max passive. So I guess if you just keep killing champions, you can just get like all the passives in the game. Which, well, I mean passives as in like passive effects. So imagine like you got like fucking Ginsus and shit. You go around with like all the passives, just all of them. And it reminds me of that meme. Of the shopkeeper seeing his team dying, and then he's like he buys literally the entire shop and pentakills the enemy team. So that's what's going on. So basically, if he snowballs, he just destroys everything. Yeah, like I said, fight, adapt, vanquish. Yeah, vanquish is right. But at the same time, I don't know what like right off the bat, I don't know what the like cost, like converted cost for stats is, so I don't know, maybe he actually spends more gold than he has to, and he has like to pay the convenience fee. He can't even buy fucking brains, like what the hell. Anyway, so the second part, well, I mean I guess third part of this is that all of his abilities have like 2 effects, I guess. and one of them is the darkening effect, and the other one is the void effect. So the abilities themselves are kind of straightforward. Q, it's like you throw this 3 blades. It's like a Heimerdinger's W, and then you also get an attack, and then you also get an auto attack buff that deals more damage or whatever, and then that's the void effect. And yeah, then he does like a bunch of other shit. The other things, he has like an AOE around him, and then he does like a dash. It doesn't really matter. He gets like a bunch of stuff if he hits you with one. Well, if he hits you with one effect, like of the same origin, and then hits you with the other, he does more damage. Like, yeah, it's supposed to you're supposed to like combo around like the effects and manage your distance and your ranges and whatnot. Like that. Like it's really over the top, but at the same time, it's so out there that I'm kind of liking it. And then you have the ultimate. The ultimate doesn't actually do anything. What it does is like you can sync your AD into HP or your HP into AD, and then if you sync all of your AD, all of your HP into AD, you turn like full on void. And if you sync all of your AD into HP, you go full on darken. And it just changes his abilities around. The void form, it makes him more assassiny, and the bruiser form, it makes him more, well, yeah, bruisery. He deals damage based on HP. He like heals and all that good stuff. He gets armor, magic resist if he goes full tank. Yeah. So yeah, that's the whole thing. This whole like stat manipulation thing going on. I really like a lot of the individual ideas. I think like this should be capped, like all of it should be capped at one point, and this should have some other form of cap, like not only just 6 actives, but also like the actual like passives should be capped at one point. Like sure, you can have I don't know if you're facing like a bunch of crit champions, but also they have more magic damage than anything, and you don't want to spend on like a random win. You can't even spend on a random win, but like let's put it that way. You want like, okay, I'm gonna get the random win passive and the Ninja Tappy passive, and then like, but the active, I don't really give a shit about the active, so I'm just gonna buy, I don't know what's a good active. You can buy like Proto Belt active and stuff like that without being AP. You can buy like cool actives without being AP. It actually has a little clause where like everything about stopwatch costs 4 hearts instead of 2. Wait, I mean, sure. You also have to kill a lot of people to actually get this stuff. So in a way, I kind of like it, but at the same time, it's like, oof, does this really work? I don't know. I kind of want to try it though. It's like, it's not gimmicky enough to be unplayable, but it's gimmicky enough that I want to see if it actually works. I don't know, there was another champion that I kind of had like the same sentiment, where I'm not sure if I like it, but also I'm not sure, I kind of want to see if it works. Maybe it works. There was this champion that at first I was like, ugh, like what's the point of this champion, right? But then I actually played it, and I was like, oh wait, never mind, this is actually kind of fun. I don't remember which one it was. I believe it was like Talia or something like that. No, I don't remember. Maybe it was Talia. It was like I remember like Talia when she was released. I was like, whatever. But I actually played Talia. I was like, oh, okay, you know what, this is kind of fun. But no, it was another champion that was like more weird. But they actually started playing it correctly, and I got into it. And I was like, oh, okay, no, actually, never mind. It's pretty sweet. I believe it was Aatrox, like new Aatrox. But yeah, I don't know. It's odd. It's crazy. I've made something like insane, like equally insane in like other forms. I do have one concept that I made post. that it like the kit itself isn't that crazy, but it does have like weird shit going on, like also related to like stats and like gold usage and whatnot. I may post it just because like if this kind of stuff can get like upvoted and actually like good feedback. Also like there's like a oh yeah, like it has this idea that maybe they should cost different things. It's interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of like balance discussions you can have with this, and I actually feel it. I actually think it's worth having them too. Like, I actually think this is something that you could try. Like, I don't know, working into. I mean, I'm not a Riot employee, but it would be nice just trying to do something like this. I don't know. It's kind of basic lore-wise and whatnot, and you know, just kind of big, badass looking itchy fucker. But you know, it does have like some cool stuff with the actual kit, the whole thing. You have to manage your marks, well, darking origin and void origin. It has like a cool idea, like overall like combo requirements thing going on, aside of all the nonsense. So yeah, it's like even without the gimmicks, it's still pretty cool, which is great. So yeah, I like it, but I'm not sure. I want to try it, but I'm not sure. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Okay, so finally, fucking finally, I'm gonna talk about my guy, Tzoltamac. By the way, yeah, that's the real pronunciation. By the way, everyone who has like weird ass fucking names, please do this. Like, add the actual pronunciation. Like okay, if you look at this name and say, okay, what how the fuck do you even like Tzoltamac? Well, maybe it's not that hard, but like if the name is weird in one way or another, then add this, have this. Don't be an asshole. It's terrible, like reading a concept but having no fucking idea how you're even supposed to pronounce a name. So anyway, so the thing about this champion is, so I'm not actually gonna talk about too much about the actual abilities, because what I want to talk about more than anything is kind of my experience making this guy. Because so I have these guys, right, the carrion gods, and the thing is, I don't actually know what they're about, and that's the honest reality. All I wanted was weird, cool looking monster, like horrid insect like things running around, being creepy, and just having something to do with dead bodies. I don't know. I just wanted something that looked creepy and edgy as fuck. Because sometimes you just need shit like that. You just need like to Junji Ito the world. Sometimes, yeah, I know in this video I talked about like how we need more fairies and cute things. But also, we also kind of need more horrifying stuff too. I'm a man of extremes. And the thing is, I don't know, like, in this particular case, it was kind of hard to actually work in, like, some form of lore or some form of, like, idea behind this thing. Like, even if you read the lore, it's more about Shiakli than actually, actually Tzoltamac. And yeah, it just goes to show that at one point, I just didn't want it to keep going with this thing. And it shows, because sure, you can read the Q and the passive and say, oh, okay, this guy has like an idea of what he wants. But then you get to the R, and it's like, so the thing about the R, it's clearly not meant to like be that complete. Like, so the thing about this character, and I know I'm rambling and not being very coherent right now. It just I really need to say things, and I don't know in what order to say it. What I really wanted for the champion was a character that felt like could have really powerful effects, but it also did those work those effects. Those effects also work on your allies. So it has like weird shit like switching like life totals of an enemy and an ally, and also transferring buffs on a basic ability, and then has like you have like a delegate that basically acts like a second health bar. Second mana bar, I was gonna say. But also you can like mess around it, like it's kind of like a Shaco clone. You can like do mind games and shit with it. So like I started like adding shit to it, and so this is basically what I was saying about top-down design gone wrong. Like when you just don't know when to stop, and you just keep adding shit, and the thing just doesn't actually work. Like for example, at one point I added this thing, the whole idea that he can't like his attacks only deal 50% damage, because I didn't want to have like an ADC thresh scenario where you just pick that and it's just like one auto and things die. I didn't want that to happen. I want this character to actually like work only as this like weird support thing. But then I said, well, he doesn't have damage, so I'm gonna add like 30% ADS true damage over 3 seconds. It's like then I thought, okay, 30% ADS true damage, but also he can still like build AD. Well, make it over time, but maybe I should lower it. But it became a chaos. It became utter chaos. And in the end, I just didn't want it to keep going. I just didn't want it to post this champion. And yeah, I know it sounds like I'm just bitching, but the truth is, what is? Oh right. Yeah, I don't even know what I have sometimes. Like sometimes I actually like write something and then I read it and I don't even know what I just read. So I'm gonna tell you a short story. The Ultimate used to be a lot more insane. It was this weird shit where you would target either a tower or like an epic monster, and the whole gist of it is that if you target an epic monster, you could only do it like out of combat and stuff. So if you target an epic monsters, then your towers would get like weaker, and the epic monsters would get like weaker. But if you target a tower, those towers would get weaker, but the epic monsters would get weaker against like the enemy team. And the whole idea is that you casted this on like an objective of your choice, and then the other team had a chance to actually like trade objectives. And then I decided to add like more shit, where if you what's this? If you didn't get the objective in time, the objective would become immune to your team, and like other shit like that. And it was kind of insane. In the end, then I decided I wanted this to be the ultimate, but then I thought, well, but no, I want this to be like more often. I want this champion to keep doing like this crazy shit over and over again. So at the end, I just didn't have an ultimate to work with, and yeah, it just, yeah, I don't know. I even put like fucking, don't even have, yeah. I even put like fucking quotes. I never put quotes. Oh, I gotta have like way more quotes, but by the end of it, I just didn't want it to. I just really didn't feel like it. And I don't know, it's kind of a, what was the name of it? Called like cautionary tale, I guess, of, yeah, how much is too much. And in this case, yeah, it is too much. It doesn't work. I actually had a little bit of a discussion here of, this guy was hard to pull off, and I just didn't know how. And the whole idea behind it was, I wanted to, one of my favorite like decks in Magic the Gathering and like other card games I want to is like sacrifice decks and discard decks and all that. Decks are all about messing around with some form of drawback, and you either use the drawback as an advantage, or you like minimize the drawback. And that was the whole thing. I wanted like the whole skill set, like skill ceiling and skill floor for that matter, of the whole character to be less about mechanics and more about, okay, how and when, in which order do you use your abilities to like not fuck over your team too much, and actually use them to fuck over the enemy team more than anything. And it's all about timing, and it's all about like knowing how to combo abilities and knowing like what other champions are gonna do, and like using your clone for mind games, and like it gets jam packed with shit. And the thing is, I still like it. I want this to work. I want this to be a thing. But at the same time, I know that it's not complete. I know it needs more thought. I know it needs more time in the oven, and it needs more actual passion, because, as I say, it didn't. I wasn't having fun in the end, and the concept suffered because of it. And this is kind of a general advice. Like, if you're not like not even like not having fun, but if you're not really feeling like the project, especially if it's a project like of your own, right? Because one thing is like having a job and not really feeling it, but you have to do it anyway. But something very different is like when you have a project of your own and you just not feeling it, and it's just not working, and the project is gonna suffer because of it. If you can't work it out, there's no BioWare magic, you know. There's no trick to it. If you can't make it work because one reason or another, then maybe you have to rethink it. And I just didn't feel like either rethinking it or stopping or just not posting it. I wanted this guy to be out because I really liked it. So other than that, I mean, yeah, I kind of tried to be a little bit cheeky with it, and I wanted to have like a lot more like symbolism on this guy too. Like I wanted to be this like thing of you know how the demonic businessman is usually like a normal dude, but inside it's like a demon. Well, this is like the other way around. It's like a horrifying guy, but he's actually kind of a nice guy who actually wants to help you out. And that was kind of what I was going for. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those champions that, again, kind of like Hiv'Vaan, I don't think it should work, but because I made it, it's because I want to try it. I want to see this thing in the game and actually attempt to make it work, even if it doesn't, even if it clearly wouldn't work, even if it clearly would never be picked or really be balanced in any moment. I still want to see this thing flailing around with his weird centipede arms and doing like crazy plays. And I don't know, I guess like in the end it's at the heart of the subreddit, right? So bonus round. So this isn't part of the contest, but Tzoltamac technically did made a champion that was meant for the contest, but he didn't actually submit it to the contest because he was part of the council. So he decided, "Wait, I'm not gonna like intervene." Essentially, you know, he stayed his podium up in the heavens, and but of course, because it's a Tzoltamac guy, he couldn't just help himself and leave behind his little centauride champion, because of course you can't have a week without Tzoltamac dropping Insect Queen Centauride, right? God fucking damn it. Anyway. And yes, I will keep calling you out on that. And I know you're watching. I will keep calling you out on that. I don't care. I don't know what you can call me on. What you can call me on with. I don't know. Like, completely honest. But I don't know, maybe you can call out on my bitching. Yeah, you can do that, but this is for you. You asked for this. So, in this case, I'm actually gonna react to this. I didn't actually read this one. Gonna be honest, I just didn't have time for this. Anyway, as you can tell, I'm a lot more happy now. But anyway, let's actually react to this champion. So the Vespiapian Queen. Okay. So attack, magic, sending globs of honey. I mean, she's part. I guess she's part wasp, but also of course she's young because of course she is, because League of Legends. So anyway, probably non-canonical. Okay, yeah, you don't have to say that, but whatever. Two warring tribes of Astaya live in Runeterra. They be like Apidias, and the wasp like Vespias. Great names, by the way. Although both tribes have small diasporas, they set up hives around Runeterra. Both sets of tribes have biological and political roles. Workers send to the hive and follow Astaya. Soldiers defend the hive, and kings and queens. Part human, part animal, rule over their hives. Why kings? I mean, there's still like there's still like wasps and stuff. Well, whatever. I don't know. Rule over it's his headcanon, whatever. Rule over the hives and create the next generation. Each of the hives around Runeterra is home to a group of either pure Vespias or pure Apidias, except one. The Hive of Ishtal, often known as Vespiapia. I don't know. Holds a belief contrary to all other hives. The travel union is possible. Fucking hipsters. Fucking commies. The citizens... Anyway, the citizens of Ishtali Hive are Vespaya, Apidia, human, Vesaya, and a mix of... Pretty sure there are no other Vestaya in Ishtal, though. Like, yeah, I can see like a specific type of like Vestaya roaming around Ishtal. But like anything else, I don't know. I don't know about that. And a mix of any of them. Again, fucking hipsters. Fucking hippies. I said hipsters, I want to say hippies. While the Vespaya and Apidia retain their biological castes, you are allowed to marry other races and have children if the queen should allow it. Okay? Because of this belief, how does that even work? I guess they're still part human, so I guess they can still, mix and match without the need of a queen. Because of this belief in population, he has been shunned by other hives, despite being more advanced than all the other hives. Okay. Either Queen Nikoletta, which, again, great name for a fucking Mayan, Mayan Mesoamerican queen, bee queen thing. It's what? Anyway, of House Vespapia, really? I mean, fair enough. I'm bad at names too, so whatever. The waspy hybrid daughter of the Vespine King and Apian Queen. Though she enjoys the hive of Ishtal and the people within without it, she aims to unite the hives, again, fucking hippie, into a giant super colony that coexists not only with themselves but civilizations around them. To achieve this dream, she has to leave the hive from time to time and explore it. And if she has to fight, she has to and she can. Okay. I mean, yeah, nothing special. It's cute. It's cool. So, yeah, there's this promiscuous. Okay, I'm joking about all this stuff, but actually I'm just trying to be edgy for no reason. I'm tired, okay? I'm just not having it. Anyway, I'm sorry. So okay, passive. Waspy Royal Hybrid. Nikoletta's genetic makeup allows her to get the best of both her Apian and Vespine lineages. Pretty sure that's not how it works, but sure. Magic. Ranking up skills allow her to select trait works for each time she ranks, okay? First 4 to 4 ultimate. Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, sure, fine, why not? Are divided into Apian perks and Vespine, unlocking all 4. Unlocks the Royal perk, which it's basically, was it Transcendence? Syndra's passive. Rams her Gasser. What the fuck is a Gasser? Stinger at an enemy, dealing. Okay, so it's one of those concepts where he doesn't actually say like the scaling and whatever, but whatever. Contact damage to the enemy. So Apian. So I guess this idea is like that you get like depending on what you need at the moment, but then you like get like stacking effects. I'm not sure about that. It's like at one point you're gonna get this like really often. But at the same time, I don't know. I can see this being okay. Also, what? I kind of get the idea of like Vespine being more like all about. Well, actually, I don't know. Cause like negate armor, but then also deal more damage. And do cool. It's like whatever, I guess. Oh wait, no, I get it. I think I get it, right? Mega boss of ranking up it's rate for reception. Wait, no, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Oh wait, no. For a second there, I thought she had to like choose between one or the other, and she wouldn't have like access to the other if she no, but she actually unlocks everything. I don't know how I feel about that. It's not a minion towards a cursor. 1 rank of this ability. It shouldn't say a minion. It should say a drone, or like a worker or something like, or soldier, because minion is already a thing. That's my only problem with it. 1 rank of this ability equals 1 minion charge. Again, drone. Trade perk. Nikoletta can choose between AP and minions. Okay, AP and perk. Minions are bees. Okay. Target on an enemy. Bees strip 30% of enemy armor and slow the enemy. Okay. Add a plant. Bees pollinated. Improving stats by 30. What? Stats? Wait, does she have like plants? No. What? I don't get it. Like, what stats? What the fuck are you talking about? The only plant that has quote unquote stats would be the honey fruit. Like, I guess the bomb blast cone throws you further away, and then the side thing, I don't remember the name, reveals more, I guess. I mean, sure, I don't know. Target at nothing, becomes a pink word. Okay. I mean, I don't really get how this works. What? Oh wait, no. What? No. Wait, no. I'm confused. How does this work then? Like, you rank this up. How does it work? I'm confused. Like, do you like no? Trade perk. Like, do you like swapped? I'm confused. How does this work? Wait, rank is oh wait, no. It's like you. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like what was this? Corky's. Yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best example, but like Corky's Ultimate. Like you like choose the first one, and then you like choose the last one, and then you can like choose another one. And it's like a charge. It's like your ammo. You have like drone ammo. Okay. I wasn't getting it, but I get it now. Okay. 5th minion added will have base size multiplied by 1.2.25. Okay, hold on. What does the wasp do? So deals damage, and it deals damage. Okay. So you deal a bunch of damage to an enemy, or you have like a turret, or you have a turret. Which, fair enough. I mean, I don't know. Or like a turret on a plant, or a turret like just playing there. Nikoletta gains a boost of 35 movement speed for 5 seconds. Okay, so more movement speed. Chance to dodge. You sure about this? Also, again, reduce cooldown. That's a massive mana cost. Increases the ratio of flight of the waspy. Okay, by 2 more seconds. That's kind of neat. I don't like the dodge chance. Like either dodge or not dodge. That's the thing. That's not how like outside of critical hits. I already rambled a lot in the last video about randomness in League. Anyway. Oh, she becomes unstoppable in the last rule. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean, fine. Like you probably gonna get this at level 18 because you really want to have like the drone drone shooting thing, and this is like whatever. You can maybe have like this as a 2-point wonder or something like that. Have like a 5 seconds. Yeah, no, I guess not enough. Have it like the Apian, like Apian 1 and Vespine 2, and have like that, because 10% chance to dodge enemy attacks, like that's shit, right? and then reduce the cooldown by 5 seconds. That's really not enough, especially early on. So I will have this like a 2.1 though, right? And then wait, it's not 4 point. No, 1, 2, 3. Whatever, I don't care. Like you have either 1 or 2 perks, and then like just put all points on W, so you can get this like really good, like actually decent, like 50% move speed for was it 7 seconds? That was pretty decent actually. And then like the reduced cooldown, the other thing, it's shit. And then of course you would want the unstoppable, but also you wouldn't want to lose on the W effects. It seems like a good thing. I don't know. Carpet swarming. I don't know, might wanna change the name there. I don't know. That's a bit just for me, it's a bit uncomfortable. Flies in a direction, leaves a storm of instant behind her. So will last for okay. So you just fucking basil geese. Well, yeah, you carpet bomb people with with fucking bugs. Okay, anyway. Avian perks. Enemies that pass through the swarm take a bunch of damage. And increase range by 500 and width by 40. Okay, so you basically get this and then either does not. Okay, no, it can actually do nothing. It's fair enough. Pass through the swarm, take a bunch of damage. Like only once? Wait, I don't get it. What if you get the Vespine perk? I'm actually confused. How does that work? Like, if you only get the Vespine perk, what does it even do? It does nothing. What? Royal perk are nearsighted. Okay, that's actually really nice. But actually, it should be the other way around. Like, Vespine or APN or whatever should be the nearsight thing, because like having a big AoE of nearsight, that's plus a dash. That's ultimate worthy. That's pretty good. And then have like the other thing be damage, and then finally just increase the size. It doesn't sound like that interesting, but it sounds like something you would see out of like an Achirem Scepter upgrade, right? Like one of those boring ass Achirem Scepter upgrades you used to have back in the day. Now actually the upgrades are pretty cool, but like you know, back in the day they were usually like really shitty upgrades. But sometimes you would need to have them, because otherwise the ability would be garbage if you didn't have the Achirem Scepter upgrade. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's kind of neat. Again, it's nice. I mean, there's not much to say in general. I like the idea of having like choosing to like what you have, right, depending on the situation. The thing is, some of these like are obviously better than others. Although there are some like good modular stuff here. Like like this is great for farming. Like you just sting someone, you get like two points on this, right? You get this and this, and then you just you just go around like hitting minions, kind of like but maybe not so much like Aurelia's Q, but it's still kind of in that way, right? Just ping, ping, ping. You go around doing that, and then the extra damage. Yeah, sure, you can get that right off the bat. And then the like pierce armor, most of the time it's not gonna do anything up to late game, like any amount of armor almost. So yeah, sure, nice. And this, I mean, sure, it turns into an AoE. It's nice. As for this, I mean, what would you like prioritize? I feel like just having more. What's the cooldown on this? Well, actually, it's pretty high. I don't know. Fair enough. Actually, the strip is not bad. I guess it depends on what you bring it to. I'm not even sure what this is supposed to be. Jungle. Okay. Okay. I mean, I guess you would go for, well, in that case, then this doesn't. Well, it maybe does actually, because like raids, not raids, razor beaks. So yeah, I guess that works. So that in that sense, I guess, since you can't do much with the actual bees, you will go for wasps. more often than not because the jungle. As for this, I mean, yeah, you can do whatever. You can do what I said and go for oh fuck, hold up, and go for 2 points, and they just leave you there, just leave it there, and they just keep putting points on W. This is pretty good for ganking, I guess, but my only problem with it is that you don't have much control over this. Like what if you want to slow, you don't have it, and you don't have any other way of slowing, and that's kind of bad. I don't know. Like this is listen to this, I don't know, the shred hour Moriana science, but and there's a slow but 35%. I mean, and yeah, I guess this is neat, but also I don't see this as being really good. I feel like the passive should have something else. I don't know what. I feel like maybe Ortex applies a poison or something. Yeah, just to give it Team is passive. Team is E passive. Well, I mean, Team is E. In any case, at any rate. But, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of a cool idea, but, well, at least it's not as fucking clunky as the other one. The other Beakwing thing. That tried to be kind of like this weird Syndra Zir shit without really accomplishing it. But yeah, cool.